Well, President Jacob Zuma has hailed struggle stalwart Chris Hani as a true distinguished freedom fighter. Zuma led a wreath-laying ceremony to commemorate the 24th anniversary of Hani's assassination at the Thomas Nkobi Cemetery in Ekurhuleni.
A plaque was also unveiled declaring his grave a national heritage site. However, the event was not without its drama. Some of the South African Communist Party leadership were heckled by the crowd there.
Paying homage to a struggle icon more than 2 decades after being gunned down in a bloodbath outside his home.
Comrade Chris Hani demonstrated throughout his life and at the hour of his death that he lived for his people. He taught many young men and women within the ANC and the Alliance that personal sacrificing was the price to be paid in defense of the interests of the oppressed black people.
But the president didn't pass the opportunity, breaking his silence on protests, calling for him to step down.
The marches that took place last week demonstrated that racism is real. And exists in our country. Many placards and posters displayed beliefs that we thought had been buried in 1994, with some posters depicting black people as baboons. It is clear that some of our white compatriots regard black people as being lesser human beings or subhuman.
A sentiment echoed by Hani's widow.
There was no civil society to march to taxi association to demand justice for the raped women. When trade unions demand a living wage for workers in our country, they are met with disdain by employers. There is no civil society march to support the poorly paid workers. When the tragedy at SABC occurred and over 100 people died, the health ombudsman released his findings, which were devastating. There was no civil society march.
And another platform to reaffirm their support for President Jacob Zuma.
We are not going to sit down as MKMVA as we celebrate the life of Comrade Chris Hani to allow a regime change through undemocratic processes. We will defend the gains of revolution, including going to the street in defense of President Jacob Zuma.
But as the SACP's Solima Paila was due to pay tribute to Hani, he was heckled. This follows the party's stance that the president should go.
We want the discipline of party cadres to be exemplary going forward. We should not join hooligans and hoodlums who seek to hijack this kind of platforms. These are political platforms. We will express differences, not attack one another.
Several more commemorative events will be held to honor Hani. Chris Lewis, SABC News, at the Thomas Nkobi Cemetery.